While Western powers issue grand speeches about climate change, a very different story is unfolding behind closed doors. One centered on the small South American nation of Guyana, and its president, Dr. Irfan Ali. Good evening. Tonight, we witness a modern David versus Goliath struggle. A nation of fewer than 1 million people daring to challenge the global energy establishment. President Ali is not simply speaking out, he is defying the system. And the shockwaves are rippling through Washington, London, Brussels, and beyond. Number 1. The discovery that changed everything. In 2015, Guyana was among the developing world's lower-income economies. Today, following massive offshore oil discoveries, it stands at the center of one of the most consequential resource boons of the 21st century. But here's the part that unsettles Western energy interests. Guyana is refusing to follow the traditional playbook. Number 2. The Western playbook, exposed. For decades, across Africa, Latin America, and the Middle East, the script rarely changed. Western corporations enter with partnership contracts. The host nation receives minimal royalties. Control over resources often shifts abroad. Environmental rhetoric is used selectively, strong in diplomacy, quiet at home. But President Ali saw the pattern and chose a different path. Number 3. Ali's defining moment. At the 2025 World Economic Forum, in a moment now circulating across the global south, President Ali delivered a blunt rebuke to Western energy hypocrisy. You cannot lecture us about carbon footprints while your corporations shaped a century of emissions. You cannot ask us to stay poor to preserve your climate conscience. Silence filled the room. It wasn't just a speech. It was a declaration of sovereignty. Number 4. The numbers, and why they matter. Western media coverage often glosses over the details, but the tension largely stems from one issue. Guyana is demanding a fairer share of its own oil wealth. In negotiations, Guyana pushed for higher royalties, greater local ownership, more transparency, development-focused revenue management. And when Western-backed institutions expressed concerns, Guyana explored new partnerships with China, India, Brazil, and other emerging powers. Suddenly, global energy politics shifted. Number 5. The environmental double standard. President Ali also challenged the narrative around climate responsibility. Western oil giants often frame new projects in developing nations as environmental threats. Yet their historical records and past industrial practices raise difficult questions. Ali's argument resonated because it touched on a deeper truth. Climate burden has been unevenly distributed. Economic benefit has not. Number 6. The sovereign wealth revolution. In August 2025, Guyana introduced a bold new model for managing oil wealth. 100% of revenues directed into a national development framework, 40% education and healthcare, 30% infrastructure, 20% environmental protection, 10% future generations fund. Across the global south, leaders began studying the Guyana model, a structure aimed at breaking the historic cycle where nations rich in resources remain poor in outcomes. Number 7. The human cost. But standing up to power comes with consequences. According to Guyanese officials, President Ali and his family have faced intense scrutiny, political pressure, and international media criticism. Ali described the weight of leadership during a recent interview. Every morning, I know that 800,000 Guyanese depend on me not to sell their future. It is a burden carried not in theory, but in lived reality. Number 8. The global ripple effect. Guyana's stance inspired others. East African leaders cited Guyana during contract renegotiations. Latin American nations began reviewing their royalty structures. Opposition parties in several countries campaigned on resource sovereignty. Western think tanks called it economic nationalism. millions across the global south called it justice. Number 9. The geopolitical stakes in 2025. The battle over Guyana's oil is no longer just about revenue. It has become a struggle over who controls natural resources, who sets the rules of global energy, whether small nations can assert sovereignty against powerful interests. If Guyana succeeds, it could become a blueprint for dozens of nations. If it fails, the message to the developing world is chillingly familiar: submit or face consequences. Number 10. The pushback. Western pressure has taken many forms: critical assessments from international financial institutions, new, environmental concerns raised by foreign NGOs, bond rating downgrades, media campaigns framing Ali as authoritarian. The sequence is familiar to students of global geopolitics. Number 11. Ali's countermove, the Global South Energy Alliance. In November 2025, Guyana unveiled its boldest initiative yet, a coalition of developing nation oil producers committed to retaining greater domestic value. Within days, Nigeria, Venezuela, Kazakhstan expressed interest. Within a week, Asian investment institutions pledged tens of billions in potential financing. A century-long monopoly on energy finance began to crack. Number 12. The emotional truth. In a candid moment, Ali shared the personal struggle behind the headlines. My daughter asked why some newspapers call her father a bad man. How do you explain to a child that defending your country makes you an enemy to those who profit from your weakness? These aren't abstractions. They're human realities: families, children, hopes, fears, futures. Number 13. The people speak. On the streets of Georgetown, optimism is rising. A market vendor described the shift with tears in her eyes. For decades we watched others get rich from oil while our people stayed poor. President Ali said, "No more." That means everything to us. For the first time in generations, many Guyanese feel their destiny might finally be in their own hands. Number 14. The final chapter, still unwritten. As 2025 draws to a close, global pressure on Guyana intensifies. Sanctions are whispered. Diplomatic pressure rises. Old playbooks appear ready for use. But Guyana stands firm, small, determined, and supported by a population that refuses to return to the old order. The world now asks, will President Ali reshape global energy politics, or be crushed by the forces he defied? What happens next will determine far more than Guyana's future. It will define whether small nations can truly control their own resources in the 21st century, or whether the old rules still reign: obey or pay. Tonight, a new chapter in global justice is being written, and for once, the pen rests in the hands of the long unheard. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more upcoming videos.